Good afternoon, everybody. This is Sia with Blackpetalgardening, and it is an absolutely gorgeous day today. It's one of the few sunny days that we had coming up that I talked about in previous videos. Enjoying it immensely, and of course, with it coming, I am giving in. I am going to start planting. It might be a little bit too early since it is the 27th of April. But a lot of the things that I have started are getting just a little too big for the area that we have available for them inside. And even once this kind of brief stint of warm weather goes, we should still have temperatures that are in the 50s and getting up into the 60s. So I'm hoping that that will be good enough. If it's not, we will just start again. And that'll just be, I'm not going to even say lesson learned, because I'm kind of going against probably what is expected to be done at this point. So what you can see here is my very awesome and true to scale drawing of the bin that we're working in. You can see over here is our little arch that we made, and I have made some adjustments to what I'm going to put into this bin just based on changes to what's going on, in particular the arch, and looking around at certain information online. I've determined we should be able to put 2 to 3 cucumbers over on this side right here, and then that will leave room to put 2 squash, a zucchini and a summer squash, over in the other bin. And so that rearranges how I had initially thought we were going to put stuff together. Now, today we are going to be planting our Brussels sprouts and our cabbage. The Brussels sprouts are looking good, and we've been bringing them outside to harden them off. Same thing with the cabbage. The cabbage is not looking as great, and that's one of the reasons why I want to get it in the ground, see if that helps. It may be stunted. It's maybe whatever we did wrong is too wrong to reverse, but I don't think keeping it in the house longer is going to make it any better. So that's the plan, and we will get to that in just a moment. Okay, so we are going to start with the Brussels sprouts. And I didn't say it earlier, but you may have noticed that I had bark chips in the bed. I think I talked about it in a different video, but essentially I tried to organize where we're going to plant everything, make sure that they have the proper spacing and all of that. So we'll see if I did it right as far as how much space everything needs, and go from there. Okay, so I'm going to scooch that on over. I don't know how much this needs. So that looks good to me. Alright. And then other Brussels sprout goes here. So I don't want to make that too deep. Alright, since these are yours, you get to plant them. I have readied the holes for you. Like how I delegated that?
Which one?
I think that's right there. Those beautiful looking purpley ones that are actually in decent condition.
Just put them in there.
Yeah, you should be able to just put them in the thing. I don't know if we want to like kind of stab the bottom or anything, so that there's gonna break that up. Is it quite lovely, if I do say so myself. Well, you killed it. Sweet. Sweet sassy molassy. Alright, so next is the cabbage. I'm going to take a look at those. What is it? Like we should do all of them, or? I know. It was like we're flying blind. They're plants. I don't know. Maybe they're good. Maybe they're not. All right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and dig some holes for them. Put some of the magical fertilizer in there. That's totally gonna fix anything that we did wrong with them in the first place, so that they can be amazing. And then we'll come back when we are about to actually put them in the ground. Okay. So, as I said, we are gonna plant all 4 of these. They don't necessarily look their best. Hopefully they will see some marked improvement by being in actual ground. I will say any production from these will be an improvement from what we had last fall, which surprisingly we did get a couple of things to germinate in straight from seed into the green stalk, but the cabbage heads were very, very, very small, and so I'm hoping we will see something that's a little bit better, having gone this more organized route, I guess. And a thank you to my lovely assistant Scott for his help. I'm gonna say, why don't we put the doohickeys like one here and one here, or either one there and one there, whichever way. So, okay, that works. So, can't really read it because it's in the shade, but these are the paddock hybrid cabbage, and those over there are the Redarling Brussels sprouts, and the Brussels sprouts, they're supposed to be purple, so we will see if they survive, A, and B, if they live up to the hype of coloring at least. And then Scott will have to let us all know if they're full of deliciousness, because I refuse to eat any of them. So, yep. Now we are going to move on to planting our cucumbers and our squash. So the Mexican sour cucumber, where's that? Mexican sour gherkin, we are going to do 1 of those, and then we're going to plant 2 of the dragon's egg. And I had on this that we're going to put the ground cherries in here. I may have to rethink that because I'm not quite sure where they'll fit. They may have to go into the other bed at this point. Well, we'll see. But the other bin, we're going to put summer squash, hybrid gentry, and then this black beauty zucchini. So we will be back when we're ready to do that. All right. We're going in for the dramatic action shot of putting a seed in the dragon's egg cucumber designated hole. Just 1 each. So yeah, two total. Dun dun. Dun dun. Amazing. All right, and then we're gonna do the same thing as we move on over here. for this doohickey, which is the Mexican sour gherkin cucumber. And where did I? Oh, right here.
Just one?
Just one, please. Oh, that is tiny as heck. Okay, see, here's what it looks like. It looks almost like a tomato seed. There we go. Rest well, little seed. Okay, very exciting. I know. Calm down. All right, we will get these watered in, but before we do that, I think we're going to go ahead and put the zucchini and the squash in the ground and kind of decide where we want to plant out our nasturtiums, because they need to get in the ground too. Alrighty, be back in a second. Okay, here we are, my dears. We are now in our third raised bed. I'm getting this space nice and ready for a zucchini. And I'm going to add a little bit fertilizer-y stuff, even though we're doing seeds and not a start. It should still be in here when it starts to set roots and doing its sprouting stuff, and be ready for it to take advantage. Now, what I am using for this is the Dr. Earth homegrown, organic and natural, handcrafted blend tomato, vegetable, and herb fertilizer, which is a 463. If you didn't hear that, it's a 463. Is there a particular reason I picked that one? Not really. It seemed like it was a good generic option, nothing that's too high in any of the items, various things, nitrogen, potassium, and phosphorus. So yeah, now this is supposed to be 1/2 to 1 inch deep. I think we might be pushing it a little bit on the depth there, but that's okay. My goal is, even though it's going to be right here, we're going to have it train to go up here and take up about half of this. The other side is going to have the summer squash, and it'll hopefully take up the other half. There is an incredible likelihood that I am guesstimating how this is all going to work in a very inaccurate manner. But you know what? I live to experiment, I guess. And as always, whatever I learn, that's going to be new information for me to have and put into play next year for our next garden. So, right. Lovely, lovely. All right, now this one says to make them 1 inch deep, 3 to 4 to a hill. We're obviously not doing this in a hilling manner. And then once they get about 2 to 3 inches tall, then we want to thin it to 2 plants per hill. I am just going to do the 1 plant. I don't want to go overboard. I'm not sure, and how much I will like these. And I know that squash can be fairly prolific, particularly with its vines. And we only have so much space and so much trellising that we've put in place. So to me, it makes sense to just go 1. And if it doesn't germinate and it doesn't sprout, we can always put a new one in, because this one, the days to maturity is only 44 days, which is pretty short. So that, I think, gives us a fair amount of flexibility, really. If for some reason things go a little bit not great and we have to redo. Now this one does not, at least on the packet, doesn't tell us how long it takes for maturity. So it's supposed to sprout in 5 to 10 days though. Germination is 4 to 12 days for the hybrid gentry. So around the same time, we should be seeing some kind of activity on both of these. I am going to take that with a grain of salt, mostly because right now, today, absolutely, the temperature is gorgeous and it's probably extremely helpful for making the raised beds warmer and helping with the germination situation. It is going to get cooler though. Again, we are towards the end of April, just starting to hit towards May, and when our temperatures start to rise. So there could be a little bit of delay because of cooler temperatures, but we shouldn't be down into March temperatures or even early April temperatures, which is why I've decided to move forward and finally get some of this stuff in the ground.
Yeah,
all right. Huh?
Yeah, that works.
See?
I contained it.
Yes. Right now we are discussing the fact that our mint section seems to have been suppressed by us putting one of the branches we took off of our enormous queen of a rosemary bush on top of it. And so now I'm wondering, is there something about a rosemary that suppresses other plants? And if so, we are going to be putting a whole bunch of it on that area because A, we need it to go away. It's taking over the lawn. And plus we were going to refresh that area, create a whole new herb bed where that is anyway, without any mint, hopefully. That's what we were just just discussing. But what we're doing right now is I am going to plant the last two of our nasturtiums that we started, because this bed is going to be the one that has our tomato and peppers in it, and we're hoping to use that as a trap plant. Okay, and you can see, it's in okay condition. I don't know whether this is a bad thing. I mean, when I looked up yellowing, it said that it was often due to underwatering, but it seems unlikely to me because I'm thinking it's probably more overwatering. It does look like it's got some nice roots here, so I'll keep my fingers crossed. And what my goal is really for this one, and actually all the ones that we've planted, is for it to kind of cascade over the side rather than growing out into the middle of the bed and just being like a really pretty waterfall of leaves and flowers. So we'll see. I think really that's going to be it. Been lovely being out here. I am looking forward to many more days like this, though we're still really early in the season. But I'm excited to have you come along, so please consider subscribing so you can stay on top of what we're doing. And in the meantime, take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.